Hello there, welcome to another episode of World of Tanks with Engaging Titan. We're here on the Siegfried Line and I'm in the IS-3, and this is one of the games towards the end of the series where I was finally completing the skill that was currently being trained up on the IS-3, which I think was the module damage one. I can't remember what it's called. So I had deleted the IS-3 by this point, and I was just continuing to play the IS-3 to complete the training on the crew, and I was also kind of hoping for an ace tanker game. So once I completed the training on the current skill on the crew, what I did was then I just took that crew and put them on the M4 Champion so that I'd have a reasonably decent crew on the M4 Champion. Now wouldn't be there'd be very much a heavy tank crew, but at least they weren't a completely untrained crew, so I could have some bit of a trial of the M4 Champion. So you can it's another game you'll see in the near future. And I also managed to get two games in on the T10. So the team are approaching the town fairly aggressively. The heavy tanks are at any rate, and we're getting a line of tank destroyers spreading out behind us. I don't favour going in further east in this position because you sometimes get sucked into fights around the gates, and then people come in behind you. But it looks like there's two tanks coming in around the 8th line, and this guy's charging down the street here very aggressively. And I thought it might be a good idea to back him up, especially since there's support from the south. But if we back him up and clear this section quickly, we could do it before people start coming in the street behind us. Now there's a CDC in front of me, and if I tuck in behind the buildings here, or the rubble here, I am protected from the guys on my left. And the CDC is completely open. Now I think the Glory IS-5 should have finished off the CDC before going in and taking on the two other lads. But we've managed to do it anyway, and I'm going to help him out insofar as finishing off the Tiger is needed, because at this point we're going to start taking a lot of damage from the guys on the right. Need to get my tracks up because there's a lot of guns firing, and if I get tracked in that location, somebody with a big enough gun or somebody's going to switch to premium ammo and start really knocking the hit points down. So now I have a bit of rubble in here to protect again the lower front plate and the vulnerable spots in the tank. Just keep the tank moving. But that medium tank out in the hills isn't being very aggressive, so I'm going to go after this Craft Panther, get him out. The tank destroyers in the hill don't seem to be paying attention to me, so again we'll pull out a bit. I fluffed a shot in the Cromwell, and I'll probably regret doing that later on. Guys in the hill still aren't popping out or taking any attention to me. So now that I reload, I'm going to come around the corner and get into the face of this Tiger 131. Again, by closing into him up close like this, he can't shoot at my lower front plate. He doesn't seem to be going for my commander's hatch until now, but it's too late. I've reloaded and I'll put the round through his front plate of his turret. It's the tier difference, and because I have a pretty good gun. So now I'm going to go after the guys in the hill. We just casually get rid of the hammer. I felt sorry for that guy in the T-28 prototype. He'd been up there before and he'd survived, but this time there was just so many guns facing him that he was utterly annihilated before he'd even a chance. Now the Yak Panther 2 has spotted me coming and has brought his tank to face. But we're going to put a round through him, and he's really makes no effort to follow me around the turn. I don't know whether his engine was damaged or his driver was damaged or whatever, but it looks like he's just given up. He's continued to point his gun in the original direction, and I'm going to come around and finish him off. So the VK is gone. The Motherland still has a decent amount of hit points, but I am in a position to shoot him from behind, and he doesn't know, or he's too busy I think to know or be able to do anything about me. And I won't get the reload in time to finish off the Borsig, and that's it, it's game over. Total battle in less than 5 minutes. So, how did we do? Well, we got a victory. 92,000 credits is pretty good. We got a high caliber. We have an ace tanker. We have a first mark of excellence as well, I think. Although I'm not sure if this was the first battle. It might be the second battle since I got it. We did over 4,000 damage, and blocked over 1,000 damage as well, so could have gotten a steel wall, although somebody might have blocked more. Glory IS-5 possibly. We did very well. Our team actually scored very well. Our top players actually all got over 1,000 points of damage. In contrast with the enemy team, we've only got one player with over 1,000 points of damage. A few with very little, and quite a lot had said it only looks like they got one shot off before they died. Well, personal score here was pretty good too. 13 shots fired, 12 direct hits, 12 penetrations. So I'm quite pleased with that. And it was very nice to get an ace tanker before I finished with the tank and moved on. Now, I decided not to sell the tank. This tank is a keeper, I think, and it could be worth hanging on to. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, please like, and I'll catch you all again soon.